Okay, welcome everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dee Dee. This is a live show on Ustream.tv, and it's a live audience, a live chat with mostly awake people. So if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching the recording. I'm going to do a little bit of catch up and talk about some of the things I've been doing, and then show a couple things, and then I'll record this segment, and then if we do a color book page, which that's my plan in about an hour. So hopefully this episode only take about an hour, but we do a lot of rabbit trails, so who knows? Who knows? Okay. So first off, I couldn't find these guys on Monday. If y'all remember, I was working in Doodlers Anonymous last week on this double page Czar and Czarina, and I couldn't find them. Well, the reason I couldn't find them, I'd stuck them up on a shelf because I put stickles on them, and the stickles gold there had to dry. And so I'd stuck them up on a shelf and to dry, and that's why I couldn't find them. But anyway, so I found them, and I think I'm going to leave the rest of the background black and white. It gives it kind of a drama. It's very graphic looking. I like the way that looks, so I think I'm just going to leave the rest, the patterns all in black and white. Hey, CB, are you and Janet getting caught up on your sleep? Since I know it's been tough for y'all to get back on schedule coming back from Oz. And I hope Xandra's still having a good time over in Oz, waiting for her Jane Davenport workshop. Hey, Scoops. So anyway, I finished these. I'm going to call them done. I will put them in the binder now that the stickles is dry. But it really, I just love the way the stickles looks. So yeah. So I'm calling them done. I'm calling them done. Hi, Light and Laughter. Anybody else popping in? So there's that. The other thing that I wanted to, because we're doing the stickers on Monday, on the sticker paper, and I put the contact paper over them to make them shiny, and but we were talking about while we were during the show about like can you use this sticker paper, and this is just sticker paper. It's like really budget friendly sticker paper off of Amazon. It was like $9.99 for 100 sheets, and you compare that to like Staples, 10 or 12 sheets for like $30. It's just crazy price at the office supply. So this is the inexpensive kind, but that's just what I wanted. I just wanted something to play with stickers, not make presentation pages or things like that. No, the person I saw the string art video is from China. I saw it on Facebook, Scoops. In the writing, it was either Japanese or Chinese. I'm sorry, I don't know. But it was on Facebook, and one of my Instagram friends posted it on Facebook, and it's either Chinese or Japanese. If one of you saw the Facebook post, then you can tell me. But anyway, that's who I saw, and I'm going to show it again, Scoops. I already went through the book before I hit record. I'm going to go through my book again. Anyway, so so I just did some sprays on sticker paper. You could do the magicals and or whatever, on sticker paper, and cut it out in your Cameo, which I do have one of those, to cut out designs, but I didn't have time to pull it out to cut some samples, so I just used a punch. I just used my punch here to show you that you can cut, shapes, and like I have these. This is from my Cameo. This little bird. You can cut anything. You can cut anything out, and then make it a sticker. So now these are all stickers. And again, maybe Janet and Eileen can make some with magicals. I didn't have time to pull out the magicals either. But anyway, so they're stickers. And, I could use these as planets in my collage. Hey, Kasha. Anybody else? Hey, Lori, Robin. Anybody else I missed? And also these, if you do collage or mixed media, keep your, negative space, because this would be good. Here, let me use one of these big ones here. I'll just throw it in my journal here, or my sketchbook journal thingy here. So you could use the negative space. I don't know what I'll do with it. I mean, but just to show you, right? So you can make all your own stickers. Now, these don't have contact paper over them, but if I'm going to use them in an art journal page, I don't want them necessarily, covered with shiny, glossy contact paper either. Come on, I just had you. This is a different one, maybe. So just got to kind of fold them and get them peeled apart. Usually not this tricky. I usually just bend it, and it usually comes apart like that one did. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that you can use the sticker paper in cutting things out, like your cameo or whatever kind of cutter you have, like that. And then play with it. Same thing for the edges, the strips. You can make your own washi tape. Make your own washi tape out of it, These are just inks, but you could use magicals. You could use, anything. Any of it. So I just wanted to show y'all, remind y'all to, if you're using the sticker paper, to use it with whatever you're cutting out. So there's another little idea there. All right, let me move this to the side. So, like I said, on Facebook, one of my friends from Instagram posted, it was an Asian, I don't know, I just looked at the writing. It just showed their hands working, I don't know, anyway. They did this string pulls through books. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did on mine, and then we'll do a couple. And so, well, let me show you I'll just go like this. Okay, so here's one I did with 3 colors. And essentially what you do is I took stretchy string, that's a little bright. I took the elastic string that I use for traveler's notebooks, the stretchy string, and that's what I used. I think the person on the video, on the Facebook video, was just using regular string, but I like the way this stretched through. So that's what I use. And you can get this stretchy string. Let me see if I have the packet. You can get it at Hobby Lobby or, any craft store. And it comes like 6 on a thing. And it's in the jewelry department. And this is the same string that I use in the Travelers to make more bands, to make extra bands. But that's what I used on mine. So here's one when I did 3 different colors. I'll flip through and show you the ones that I've done and then what I do with them. So I probably did about 20 maybe. And I'll tell you what some of them that I have ideas for already. I was saying earlier, it's kind of like a Rorschach test, an ink test, ink blot test. What do you see? What do you see in it, So I did a couple where I saw something in it and turned them into something, but this one I turned the book upside down and did it that way, and then I'll have something pouring out there. And I just use the FW inks, all these that we got, on clearance at Hobby Lobby when they had their big sale. So this one looks like a monk to me in a robe, a monk in a robe, so I'll probably do that. Let's see. Here's one with light blue and pink. Yeah, I used ink, Picola. Yeah. Oops, I think I missed one there. Yeah. This one I turn into a flower. But I really don't want them all to be flowers. I'm going to turn them into other things I see. So here's one that I did that I turned into these owls. I turned these into little owls and made a little cartoon out of them. And yeah. So I added, Posca, paint, doodles, eyeglasses. I did post this one on Twitter. Anyway, so this is the kind of stuff I want to try with it. I don't, I want to do all kinds of ideas. So I threw a few in here. This is my newer journal that I got off of Amazon. It's called and I put all this on here myself. The world's largest sketchbook, 600 pages. And now it's on this is Create Space paper, guys. It's just Create Space paper. It's like copy paper, right? There's this one. I'm just going to flip through here. There's a pink and blue one. You like the owls? Thank you. I got my favorite ones coming up. Hang on. The owls were good, but I like this other one. And then there's this one. So you see, and then I splatter too. I added ink splatters, drips. I added drips on some. Here's the one I like. I turned them into two grasshoppers meeting. Two old men grasshoppers meeting. They're smoking their pipes. They're smoking their pipes and having a meeting. See their walking sticks? So you can still see some of the swirls and stuff still in there, but I painted over it, inked over it, drew over it. So thanks, Terry. Terry put in a link to this book. And by the way, this book is in multiple covers. Of course, I like the space cover, but there's one with painty cover, there's sunshine, there's all different kinds of covers. Yes, the meeting of the elder grasshoppers. I know. So I want to still play with it, but anyway, I got a basic from the basic shapes. They just look like two grasshoppers with their walking sticks, and I'll probably go in here and put some wood grain in there. Yes, they're solving the world's problem. Oh, hang on, there's Denise. Hang on. Hey, I'm streaming, but what's up? He's at the store. Well, wait. What happened with the Boo's tryouts? Oh, they found on Saturday. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, maybe you could link that to me later. All right, bye. They find out on Saturday about their my granddaughter's cheer tryouts. So, yeah, okay, yes, yeah, you guys. All right, so let me keep going here. This one I thought of, and before I hit record, I was telling the girls this looked like two astronauts to me, so I put some circles inside their helmets. I'll turn these into astronauts, and paint and doodle in here with some Poscas or something, little little gears and little switches, and anyway, this looks like two astronauts in space to me. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, that's where I just glued those things down. It's another one. The owls yeah, I like to have fun with it. So again, I don't know what they'll all be yet, but I did have fun just doing a whole bunch of them. And they dry real quick with the ink. See, this looks like somebody's back. This looks like a shoulder. And this looks like a head, like somebody's looking away, like in 3/4 profile right here. And that's their head. Here's the shoulder. Here's their back. You see what I'm saying? It's, Robin, it's more of a training. You can train yourself to be more imaginative. You really can. Here's one with blue and yellow. Again, these almost look like aliens. Or they could be angels. That could be their wings. Let's see. These. Hey, Julie Topaz. And then this one, this looks like a Native American woman, like her head's bowed and she's got 2 papoose on her back. And I started like thinking maybe some feathers, just to like more of an indication of, or some kind of Native American design on a robe. But that's what this one looks like to me. So I'll probably turn this one. You can see, look at the striations from the string. See the striations from the string? So that's what I'm going to do with this one. These look like dancing angels to me. And this one looks like a universe. I got a couple that look like this could be a planet. And you can white out things. Like, like let's say I wanted that a planet. I didn't want that line right there. Or I could make this a space station. And this could be the space, like a space station here. And this could all be a nebula. See, everybody sees something different. Yes, I did use the elastic string on all of them. So I'm going to do some here in a minute, even though I just did my nails this morning. It does get all over my fingers. I don't have the plastic gloves, but if you don't want ink on your fingers, this is going to be a bird. This looks like some kind of a bird of paradise. Like there's I already sketched in his beak. Like this could be his beak and feathers. This just looks like a bird to me. Maybe it's the legs, right? This one already had some circles on the back, so you could do this on top of a background. I haven't done it on a painty background. You'd want to probably do it on something that's like you just have ink on the background, because if you have if you have any texture and try to pull the string, it's not going to go smooth. These little circles are just stamped things, but you could have stamped images, or you could have anything on the background as long as it's smooth, so that the string will pull. This one, I just turned the book upside down and pulled it off the top, and then after that, then I did drips, drippy stuff there. Another one here. This one looks like a rabbit. This one looks like a little rabbit face. I put 2 little eyes there. Maybe has some floppy ears. I don't know, but that just looked like a little rabbit face to me. And I think that's it. So, I'm sitting on my foot. Yeah, so if y'all are just joining, I saw one of my Instagram friends posted on Facebook, an Asian, I think it's a guy, in all the writing was in, I guess, I don't know if it's Chinese, Japanese, I don't know. Anyway, so he was doing these pulls of string in a book. Now, I don't know what kind of string he was using, but I used the stretchy string, so we're going to do a couple. All right, so let's kind of get some bright inks here. Let's get a Let's do orange maybe. And these should all be dry, so it should be okay to put it on top. So what I do is I put a squirt of ink I add a little water just to make it go a little further. A little water. What other color do I want? Orange and purple? No, let's go with marine blue. Let's go with this bright blue. So I'll put some blue, and this is just the FW inks. I imagine you could just do a couple of squirts of your dilutions ink in here, your dilution sprays. Do a couple of squirts of that in here and add a little water just to make it go. Yeah, it's just acrylic ink, but you could use any ink. You know, you could probably just use watered down acrylic paint. You know, I haven't had time to do a lot of testing of it. Okay, so now what I'll do, I just did all these yesterday. All right, so then what I did is I just took, and I was using the back end of a paintbrush to poke it down. So I was getting a minimum, here's a baby wipe, a minimum amount of ink on my fingers, even though it did, I don't know what I would have done without a craft scrubby, just saying. So this was the easiest way I found to dunk it, is just roll it up in a little ball. And I don't know how long this is. It's probably about a foot and a half, but you don't need that much. Especially if you're using stretchy string, you don't need that much. So I just kind of rolled it up in a little swirl, and then I put it in the ink, and I just took my paintbrush and kind of, you know, got it down in there. You know, just kind of get it all wet. Then find you a blank page. Okay, oops, let's get the right one. And then you just kind of put it on there in just different ways. You want at least one loop, and you'll start to see after a while, if you keep doing the same loop, you're going to get the same design. That iris looking flower design, you're going to get that a lot unless you switch it up, right? Switch up your loops differently. And then also what I did, then I close it up and you hold it down. I still have a hold of the string in here. And I'm just going to, it's stretchy, so I'm going to pull it down here, right? So I don't know if you can see, but I got the string down here. Get my white this way. And I'm holding this book real tight. And I'm just stretching, and I'm kind of moving. Then I'll just kind of grab it closer. And I'm moving it kind of back and forth. I'm going like, you know, left to right. You could probably go off the edge and around the side. So I'm just moving it. But you have to have your book really tight shut, so that it gives it pressure. Okay, I'm just going to keep there. Now I got to go back and find it because I didn't keep my finger in there. Hang on. Let me find it. I should have put a post-it note so it would have been easy to find, but I'll do that on the next one. Hang on. I'll put a post-it note on the next one. Sorry, guys. Where is it? Here it is, I think. Nope, that's not it. Well, it's here somewhere. Hang on. It won't have any splatters. That's how I'll recognize it. Well, can't be that difficult. I didn't think I did it this forward. We'll find it. I didn't think I went this forward in the book. No, I didn't. Let's go back. Ah, I think we got it. Here we, no, that's not it either. That's the same color, but not the, well, guys, no. What did I do with it? It's got to be here. Hang on. Here we go. So that's the one that I just did. I recognize it because there's no splatters yet. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other string, although I really do pull off a lot of the ink. It's almost perfectly dry by the time I get done because I'm stretching the string and all the ink is going on. All right, so now I'm going to take the next one. I got 2 strings here. Roll this up. I'm going to put it in the orange. And again, I'm going to use, well, let me use a different paintbrush so I don't get the 2 inks. Need a little bit more water. And just get it wet. And, oops, sorry guys, hit the camera. Let's go right in here and maybe, let's go off the side. Let's go this way. See, I'm getting the ink on me, on my hands. It does stain your hands. So if you don't have a craft scrubby, you probably want a, you probably want to put on gloves or those, yeah, invisible ink. Okay, so now I'm going to go and close it again, and now I'm going to come off the side. Okay, so I'm going to hold it down, and I'm really putting pressure on the book. Maybe come down here off the bottom. And you just never know what you're going to get. But if you just do the one loop, and straight down, you're going to get that flower shape. I noticed that. Okay, so there we go. And then what I usually do is I just take and put in some splatters. And you can close your book and have the splatters be, you know, the same, but I just do them random like this. And then put some blue ones down here. And then after it dries, and go in there and, you know, play with it. All right, let me get some more baby wipes here. I'll try to keep my hands clean because I want to do a color book page after a while. I don't have time to redo my nails. Why do I use a stretchy string? Because it's what I had, Diane. It's what I had. And it seems to work good, so that's why. All right, so let me hit this with the heat gun real quick so I don't stick it together. We'll do one more. It does. It is fun. If you just join me, Colleen, I did a flip of my pages, and I did do 2 things. I turned 2 of them into something. But look at it and just, what do you see? And whatever you see, try to make that into something. Like I did my owls here. A lot of the striations are gone now. But I saw these owls in there, and so, I did that. Same thing for my my meeting of my grasshoppers. Yeah, so there's my 2 old men grasshoppers meeting. All right, so let's find another spot here, and let's curl up the string. Use the ink I already poured. Okay, so I just make a little curl here, over here, and get a paintbrush. You could use tweezers, would probably be better. I have craft tweezers sitting around here somewhere. But, this is just what I did yesterday for the first time. Okay, so I'm just going to dip it in there and kind of take it and, just pull it. And don't just do your usual loop, because if you just do one loop like that, you're going to get the same design. And you'll find that out after doing it a couple times, right? All right, so now I'm going to close it and hold it down real tight. And then just, I'm kind of moving the string up and down, like to the top, and then come down here to the bottom. You could even pull it around to the bottom or the top. Okay. See, I held on to it this time so we can find it. Let me get the ink off my fingers as much as I can. All right, so there we go. Now look, I see two people holding glass balls, like a world. Like they're holding, like this is a person holding out a world. This is another person holding out a world. See, that's what my initial reaction, right? That's just my initial thing. And then I can take and take a little bit of, you know, splatter. You don't have to splatter or drip or whatever. I just think it gives it more oomph if you put some extras on there. Yeah. All right, let me dry it. Y'all like that? Yeah, girls are going, cool. And I'll hold it up so you can see a little bit of the striation. See the striations in the texture? But don't just do, I'll show you what happens when you just do the one loop. When you just do the one loop, you're going to get, I know I got one or two in here because I noticed if I just do the one loop, they all look the same. Kind of like that one, but like these. They're going to all look like this. I did a couple like that. See, kind of like this. Although this one turned it into a bird of paradise or a rooster or something. But anyway, this one I did upside down and then let it drip. So anyway, let's do it. Let's do one or two more with the orange now. Let's find a clean spot. All right, let me get the string, roll it up. And it's almost perfectly dry by the time you do this. You really are pulling off almost all the liquid. Okay, so where's my, let's get the, clean off the tip of that, dip it. Let me add just a squirt of water just to make it go a little further. Okay. All right, so let's leave a lot of loops. Let's see what happens like with this, you know? And let's go off to the side. We'll see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna pull up to the top, some to the bottom. I'm really, a lot of pressure on the book. And that's what, okay, I'm pulling the whole wad out now, it looks like. Yeah, okay, there's that one. I'm trying to keep my fingers as clean as I can as the ink gets on them because I want to do a color book page and I don't want them to look like all black like they were yesterday. It took me a while to get the ink off. Okay, and then where's my little brush? Where's the little brush that I had? All right. And then we can do this. I can put, let's go ahead and put some on here like this. Maybe let's do some, put a lot of ink on there and then just kind of squirt it with water and let it drip. Clean up some of the drips here. See, now it looks like some kind of a creature with legs. Let's do this side. Okay. And this is just Create Space paper. I mean, it's very thin. Maybe it's an insect. I don't know. So you see, see, y'all had them flying as angels. Yeah, I turned them. I gave them some legs. This one might need another leg there. But anyway, so then you can, you know, then you can start playing with them, right? They look like those, what are those Star Wars things, the big what are they called? You know, they're big metal ones with the long legs. Okay, so let me dry this. Praying mantises. But you can add more than one color. We'll do one more with orange and blue again. I imagine you could put 2 strings at the same time. I've just not done 2 at a time. I do 1 at a time. Like I'll do the orange and then the blue. But let's try to do them both at the same time. Now you can't wait too long because you don't want the string to, you know, really dry. All right, so let's do a blue. I'm almost out of ink in here. Let me add a little water just to make it go a little further. Okay, let me just let it sit in there a minute while I do the orange one. Yeah, Connie, yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little bit of, this has already got a little blue in it, and so it's going to have a little kind of green and brown because I have blue on my paintbrush and I dipped it into the orange here. So all right, so let's see, we'll do, these will be our last 2. So let's kind of unfurl that a little bit. Come on, unfurl, unfurl. I mean, I'm already liking that right there. And now let's get the blue one, and let's put some up here. Sorry, bumped the camera. And let's go this one off the side. All right, so let's see what happens here. Okay, so I'm going to close it. Let me put a Post-it note so I can use both my hands. I'm going to put a Post-it note right there so I can find it again. All right, so I'm going to take one, and I'll pull it off the bottom. I know y'all can't see the string, but I'm just kind of moving it back and forth across the bottom. Holding the pressure on the book. Okay, and now let's do the blue one. Try not to get too much ink on my fingers. So you just don't know what you're going to get, but that's part of the fun of it. Okay, now let me clean my fingers off real quick. All right, let's see what happens. Don't want any ink on my table because I'll run my arm through it. All right, let's see what happened here. Wait for it, wait for it. Oh my gosh. So that had all orange on it because that's where I set the string down and kind of moved it around. So now we can put a few splatters. These look like shells to me. Like nautilus shells are in there. I don't know. And it could be bugs too with wings. It has a tendency to look, you know, kind of organic just because of the striations, you know. So yeah. And then now let me show you how I did with the 2 I already showed. The owl and the grasshoppers. I don't know what I'm going to make with this yet, but I want to show you a cool thing to do with your texture. There's a telescope. See, everybody sees something different, right? All right, so now let me go ahead and let me just do this so that all those spots are set. All right, so now I'm just going to take a little gesso. You can take a little acrylic, white acrylic paint, whatever, and then you know, palette knife, and I'm going to scrape. I'm going to just kind of scrape it. Make it not even, you know, make it scrapey, right? Scrapey. Because then what happens is when you put the ink on it, I'll show you here. Hang on. It's kind of like we did in the big I think it was the, I don't know which journal it was. The one where we did a lot of backgrounds with gesso and stuff. I forget which. Okay, so I'm just scraping on a little bit of that. Now let me dry it. Hang on. Gotta have this 100%. Like, they look like dragonflies to you. Y'all, see, y'all have such imagination. And then I got one more technique thing to show. I'm looking around. I thought there was a couple of things, but I think I just have one more thing. This is just kind of a little catch up on what I've been kind of testing out. This has to be 100% dry. Okay, I think I got it dry. So now what I'm going to do is take a baby wipe. Oh, I'm sitting on my foot. Get a baby wipe. And then what I did is I dipped it in the leftover ink. We'll just take, well, let's take a little bit of orange and maybe a little bit of blue and kind of make it a green. And then when you go over all this gesso, it leaves a nice texture. Now I would decide what this is going to be, you know, ideally you want to decide what this is going to be before you start painting it in. But I just want to show you the texture. Okay. With the baby wipe. See? It's the same kind of texture that we did in the indigo. No, this is all I've tried, Picola. I just saw it yesterday. I saw it yesterday afternoon or whatever time it was morning, I don't remember. I saw it on Facebook when my friend posted that Asian person doing the string, and you know, it was really, this is kind of sad, but anyway, one of the comments on there's hundreds, I mean there's probably like 6 million views on the video. I don't know how long the video, I don't know the initial posting of that video, right? But somebody left a comment, well, I used to do that 50 years ago. I taught elementary school. I used to do that 50 years ago. Well, yeah, I know. I've seen people do similar stuff with the string. You know, but come on, let's have a little fun. Okay, so, this book. Who did this book with the burlap? Dina Wakely. Here's where I've left off with my sketches of my animals here. This is where we did all these backgrounds. Not the cloth ones. Here, see? Same kind of texture. Same thing with the texture in this book. We went through and we did every single page in this book except for the burlap ones. See, this has got the ink over gesso. Dina Wakely. Oh, see, I get them mixed up. Why do I have such similar names? Anyway, so the same texture, and see, I'm doing these backgrounds so that when I do my animals, like, let me find the one that I don't think, yeah, here it is. Uh-oh, did I get them stuck to the, so I showed, there's a video on how I did the animal, and I wanted to do it old school. I could do this, I could have just photographed it, put it in Photoshop, and cut it that away, but I wanted to do it the old-fashioned way. So, so you see, I cut them out, I drew them. Uh-oh, this one's stuck for some, oh, I taped it down, that's right. There's a little piece of double-sided tape right there. Hang on, let's get rid of the double-sided tape. And then just taped it down on top of one of my backgrounds, photographed it, threw it into Procreate on my iPad and played with it, and here's a bigger picture, and then turned it into this. So this can be one of my cell phone covers. So, well, see, that's the thing, Picola. I don't know how well, I'll try it on one of the texture ones, but I don't know how well it would work with texture, but we can try. So I added the umbilical cord going to the star. So you know, by cutting it out like this and then just tacking it down, you can move it around. You know, I could have done it on here. You know, I could put it anywhere I want, you know, sitting on a planet. But anyway, so I did one with him, and I did one with the koi fish here. So here's the one with the koi fish. And then I just went into Procreate, added extra stars, cleaned up the edges, you know, added the fins, made the fins fluffier and stuff in Procreate. And there's a video on that. So anyway, I said all that to say, I wanted to show you the texture. I wanted to show you the texture and then with the ink. Now, if we do a string pull on here, we need to do it probably in black, so it'll show up. Like if I just do blue, which I wouldn't want to do blue on the purple and the yellow anyway, but I think if we do black. Now, this one's got some texture. I don't have this one's not real heavily gessoed. Some have more than others. Like this one's got a lot, right? But I can't do a string pull with this one because it's got the burlap in there, but we'll do it on this one. So what we'll do is we'll put out a little black ink and try it, okay? Let's see, that's Payne's Gray. This is dark blue. Where's my black? I know I got a black one here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, that's silver. Payne's Gray. What did I do with my black? I got 2 Payne's Gray here, no black. Cool Gray. Let's say, yeah, okay, here's black. All right. This one, hang on, I'm going to get my pliers. Where are they? If I'm not careful and don't take my time to clean off the lids, yeah, my bad. So I have to take the pliers to it. Okay, so, oh, this is the one with the broken stopper. So let me just pour out a little here. Don't need much. That's plenty with a little bit of water. Okay, let's add a little bit of water in there. Let's get a string. We'll try this. All right. Let's roll it up. Dip it. Where's my paintbrush to get it all in there? And we'll see what happens. Okay. My camera's right above me, so it's hard to... Let me move it over here. It's hard to raise it up off this thing without getting in the camera. Okay, so let's... There we go. All right. So let's pull this down here, close the book and put lots of pressure, and let's see what happens. This, like I said, this one doesn't have a whole lot of texture. Some of the ones that on my backgrounds have a lot of texture, but we'll see what happens. It's getting caught up in the burlap. Hang on. There we go. All right, wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, it was like a resist. It didn't really, it's like the black is like, it's like this is too shiny. Do you know what I'm saying? It's too shiny. It's not settling in. Look, it's kind of sitting on top. I could probably just wipe it off. See, look. It's because of the ink on top here, it's resisting. So that won't work on this paper because it's like a resist. So let's go ahead and put some black on this one though. So I want to use up the rest of that black. Let's just throw some on this one. Hang on. Rolling it up. Putting it in the black here. Oh, I'm making a mess. I'm trying to keep my hands fairly clean for when I color. So if you watch the color book episode after this one and my hands got black ink on it, you know why. Okay. So, yeah. It would probably work if it wasn't so slick. The ink is resisting the slickness, right? All right. So now we have texture here though. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens on this one. Close it. I still got the string. I'm going to try to not lose the page here. We'll see what happens. Let's go this way. Maybe we'll go off to the side here. It's all just like, you know, what happens, happens, right? The acrylic paint. No, because there's no acrylic paint on that, Terry. It was all just ink and gesso on those pages. It was all ink and gesso. So I'm not sure. Yeah, see, it didn't work on here either, where the gesso was and the ink. But it did give us a couple more wings. It gave us some more wings, look. So if you're going to do this, it has to be on something where the string or the ink can kind of soak in. Yeah, it needs a porous surface. Exactly. Hey, Lynn. So, yeah. But anyway, so I did these owls, and I'm working on the grasshoppers. I need to put something there so I can find them again. So I'm still working on them. And yeah, and I have plans for, like I said, this one I see a Native American woman with her head bowed and her papoose is on the back and some kind of, you know, design on her robe here. That's kind of the plan I have for this one. So that's all I've done in my, let me get a fresh baby wipe to clean my hands. That's what I did in, this is my play sketchbook and journal, you know, the one I got from Amazon, the 600 pager. Yeah, they're smoking pipes. They're having a meeting. They're meeting and smoking a pipe, you know. They're just, you know, I kind of imagine, you know, like a Tolkien world, you know, like the hobbits smoking their pipes, you know, I don't know. Anyway, so that's the journal the sketchbook that I'm playing in. So, all right, so there's that. The other thing that I wanted to show, and I have to find something, let me move all my ink and string out of the way here. Clean off the back ends of my paint brushes so they're not making ink all over the place here. Okay. I've been having, oh, I need another one. Hang on. Let's move this out of the way. Hang on, guys. Another baby wipe. And I can't remember who it was. If y'all have the link, I don't have it in front of me. There's a girl that uses, and Anne's the one that showed me her. So I don't remember her name. That does distress, and y'all asked me this last week, and I've had 2 or 3 people email me and say, have you tried distress inks on your color book? Well, no, but let me put these away. But I've used distress inks, and I have a few, and I've used them before with stencils. Where does this go? I can't there. No, I can't go there. I'll never find it again. I'm trying to find this. There we go. The spot to put my pliers in so I can find them next time. Distress ink on the color books and kind of blending them out with the blending tool. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. How you use distress inks with the blending tool. You know, Tim Holtz. shows how to do the distress inks, and you know, I mean, it's his product, so of course he does. I'm trying to make room while I'm talking here because I have no space. So anyway, there's a color book girl that uses distress inks in her color books. And everybody just goes, have you done it? Have you tried it? No, I haven't. But we're going to go ahead and give it a try. I'm going to just show that real quick. I'm not going to color a page right now because I want to go into a color book page segment on another separate segment from what we're doing right now. But I just wanted to show you, this is the one I want to do here in a little bit. This morning I painted the background just because that took about an hour, 45 minutes maybe, to paint in this background, and I didn't want to take up 45 minutes of time, of Ustream time, you know, to just paint this background. So I painted the background. This is the page I want to color here in a few minutes. But what I wanted to show you is what she does. I don't know if I could do it on here. Let me find something I could do it on. Here's maybe, all right, so here's a page where I've already got a wash of acrylic paint. Okay, I've already got a wash of acrylic paint. It's not neat, it's not pretty, it's just a wash, right? It's a background. But I'll test here with the distress inks. So I pulled out my distress inks and all my other little inks that I have. I haven't tried any of these. I mean, maybe the Craft Smart ones will work the same, the Color Box ones. You know, I have the big distress inks too. I just don't really use them much anymore. Here's my ink tray here. So I have all these other distress inks here in different colors too. But, you know, we've had them for years, since scrapbooking. But we're going to test. We're going to test it here. Okay, so you could use sponges. You could use your, where's my, here. Here's my little thing of, you know, here's my, this is the alcohol, you know, that's the sponge one. I have the different Tim Holtz scrubby things. And I thought, and this is what she uses. The girl that does this, I wish I could remember her name, guys. I tried to look her up. I don't remember her name, so she's in my favorites somewhere, but I can't find her. So maybe if you just put in YouTube color booking with distress inks, you'll probably find her. And I think she only has 1 or 2 videos where she does this. So I don't know. I can't remember her name. Anyway, you could use your your Tim Holtz. This has got the sponge on it, but this is the square one. He has the round one now. But I thought this is kind of big. Even the round tool is kind of big to use with, you know, a color book page. So I said, why not use these? You know, the little sponges on a thing. Or these, the little sponges on a stick. Right? They have sponges on a stick. Tim Holtz stuff, right? I don't know who makes these. I don't think these are Timmy, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to do a little test on this page here. I just picked this one at random. We'll test the Craft Smart. We'll test a distress ink. Here's a blue. Here's a light. Oh, the light blue probably is not going to be dark enough to. Maybe I'll test it on the clouds. So, is that who does it, Robin? I'm trying to find somebody. Tell me the name of the person that uses distress ink. So anyway, Anne was the one that directed me to this person that uses distress inks, and I guess quite a few of y'all have seen it, and so you've asked me and emailing me and asking me, have you tried it? Have you tried it? Well, I have tons of distress inks, as you can see. I've used distress inks for years. But I just never really thought to put it in a color book because I just use pencils. I love me some pencils. Is that who it is? Zucchini ink? Zucchini ink, Terry? If that's it, let me write that down because I'll link her when I finish. I mean in the description, right? Zucchini ink. Do I have that right? Is there one, or there's only one? Okay. ZucchiniKitty. And I'm probably not, it's not probably not zucchini. Oh, ZucchiniKitty. Oh, okay, the whole thing didn't show up. Okay. ZucchiniKitty. Okay, is that the one that does the distress? I'll look it up. Thank you. ZucchiniKitty is the one that did. Okay, so let's just do a couple tests and just see. Because people keep asking me, try it. Well, okay, we're going to try. So let's try with this blue first. I'm going to try with, and I have the dark blue. Let's see, which blue is this? This is Salty Ocean. This one is Broken China. Let's just, it's because it's little. Let's just go with this. Let's make sure they're going to pick it up. Okay, so let's see. See, even this is kind of big. It's just kind of, I don't know how she really does it with the tool. You know, the round tool. That looks like this, but round. Because it's hard to get in details. So let's try. Not that it matters, because you can go over any of it with pencil, right? Kind of just smears it. Hi, Mink. All right, so let's try this little tool here and see if we can. Now that's better. See, now we can get in the little tiny areas. Could probably use a Q-tip. This is sponge. I don't know if a Q-tip would work. Did she use a Q-tip? I'm trying to remember. All right, so let's go ahead and try the light blue. Let me kind of clean this off. Let's use the light blue up here in the clouds, like. See, I just do this with pencil. I don't know. Y'all have to decide for yourself. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit of swirl in the clouds. Kind of feather it out. Can y'all see it? Maybe I need to zoom in one. So for those of y'all that wanted to see me do this, here we go. I use a water brush with these to color, CB. Okay, well, let's get a little water brush to it. See, this is just me, guys. I'm thinking if I'm going to use a water brush and ink, and why not just do watercolor? I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Let's smear this around. I think I've mashed it so far into the paper, it's not really... Is there enough water in there? It's not really wanting to move. It's not really wanting to move very much, CB. Maybe it's because I mashed it so far into the paper. It's not really moving. Also, don't make this squeaky sound. Yeah, it's just these little, these little tools anyway. So just to test it out, I just, I guess I should try to use it sometime because I have them all and I haven't used them for a long time because I just don't use them anymore since I don't really... The only time I really use inks really is on like the magazine journals as just scrapey, distressy, make a mess on your background kind of thing. Make almost like just giving it a texture or something. A little bit like that. Not understanding the advantage you get with the ink pads. Yeah, I'm not either. But, it's kind of fun just to, swirl a little ink around. But I don't see an advantage over any other medium that I use. But that's just me. But it's, Okay, so, maybe this is not the one I was using this one, CB. Let's go to the, I picked up the Craft Smart one and was smearing, so maybe that's why. Let's go with the Distress one. Let's put it on the let's put it on here, and then and add water to that. Okay, so let's get some dark green here. Let's go right under the boats here, like right under the, and I'll try to move that with water. Okay, so let's go right along the edge, like a shadow, right? Under the edge there. Can y'all see? All right, now let's take the water brush. Okay, that's moving now, CB. Yeah, I was just using the wrong thing. But again, and again, it's cool if you want to use your ink pads for this, because especially if you already have them all, right? Like most of us do. But I'm not seeing the advantage of using an ink pad over, say, Neocolor 2 or watercolor, you know, just watercolors. I'm not sure why. Why, people, why? You know? I mean, I don't see the difference between picking this up and picking up a Neocolor 2. But, hey, whatever, right? So, yeah, so these are the distress inks, a little bit of water, a little bit of mushy, you know, mushy tool, whatever you call it, a sponge tool. But I think that these would probably be better if you're going to do this instead of the big round Tim Holtz, the round one, the wood thing. That's kind of big. I would think that you'd want to use something like this or these. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Okay, so, but there's something to do with your inks. If you got tons of ink, you probably should be using it, especially if you're not a big stamper. These are all my distress inks. These are all the Nick Bantock ones. These are really old. These are all my Ranger Scenteds, some more Nick Bantock, and then just other ink pads here. So, yeah. And I thought, when I showed them when I was cleaning out a couple weeks ago, I thought, well, that's all my inks. And then I forgot that I had this other box. This is the box that I keep my these in, right? So I keep these in here, but I have all my mementos, my Adirondacks, you know, it's like, I forgot I had all these that I put in this box with these fitting in there. So yeah, I think I need to use my stamps more. And then these are the stamps I've been using that are the smaller ones, date stamps, and just smaller ones. Like this is like in Society of Idea Collectors, tiny stuff. So yeah, and then I keep this handy for my my carved light bulb, so that I put that on envelopes, and I use Stays-On with that. Okay. So there we go. For those that asked me to try it, I tried it, so you can quit asking me. Not that I mind, guys. I never mind y'all asking me to try something. Seriously, I don't mind at all. You know, and then that way we can all try it together and see what happens. It's kind of cool, but for me, I will just use watercolor. Yeah, it's just another way to use what you got. Exactly, Lynn. Okay, so, and, you know, if you ever were back in the days where we were stamping, like back when there was a stamp store, first there was like cross-stitch stores and beading stores, then there was stamping stores, then it went to scrapbooking stores, Anyway, you know, you'd use Post-it notes to make just kind of like airbrush. You know how you would use. You can make your own masks and make your own, you know, shapes with the ink. I'm sure some of y'all remember those days. Yes, don't email me. No, really, I don't care. But people have been asking me to try it, so there we go. And you know. All right, so I'm going to stop this segment. Give me some hot coffee, and then I want to color. It doesn't have to be this page, but I said, well, you know, I had done this page a while back with the water dragon, and I was going to do the fire dragon. So this morning I took the time to paint the background. But we don't have to do this one. I don't know. It doesn't even have to be in Mythomorphia. It's just I love these books, and eventually I want to finish them all, right? So I just randomly picked this one to work on today. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here, and then we'll come back and find something to color. All right, guys.